Hey everyone, and welcome back to Broke Boys Gaming. I hope y'all had a wonderful holiday. I know that I did. So within this podcast, we're going to be talking about microtransactions, and we're going to be talking about the road to 2018, as well as our own guilty pleasure games, and we're going to touch base on the Game Awards and our thoughts about that. I, for one, think that the microtransaction subject is going to be very interesting. We have a lot of opposing views on the subject at hand, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. We do this as a hobby and just because we enjoy gaming as a whole, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to get the best feedback from our audience as we possibly can. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
Speaking of people jacking off the consumers, we're going to talk about microtransactions.
Okay, fine. Yeah, let's talk about microtransactions because they're evil, they're wrong.
Horrible in most sense. However, there is a certain way to do them, which is like let's say there's a game like an RPG and you have to collect resources in order to like make armor and equipment and stuff like that. I think it's okay to have a microtransaction where you purchase something that's counted as a time saver, not as a I don't think microtransactions are good when there's a cosmetic microtransaction is poop. I feel like you should do something in the game to unlock specific cosmetics. I feel like paying for anything other than time savers is horrible. And I think even if you do pay for time saver, you're just like that's just bad because you bought the game to play it. You don't want to have to pay it. Now, you bought the game to play it. Now, if you're stupid enough where you don't have time to play it, then you'll pay for a time saver, which is just...
That's why I bought Warframe.
Well, yeah, it's I don't know.
It's like it like deters the point. But the reason the time saver is in there is because these companies, you have to understand that the company is there. The chief, like, textbook definition of a company is to make money for the workers, not for the consumers. It's to make money for the people that are employed. And in order to make the most money for the people that are employed, they have to serve the consumers correctly. However, at the same time, you have to understand that they still need to make money because sometimes the consumers want everything for free. Honestly, everybody wants everything for free. But that's something that simply can't happen. So if they can factor in some sort of microtransaction that's acceptable, like a time saver, I'm fine with that. However, then there's other instances where it's bad, which is straight up bad, like a loot box system where you don't know what the hell you're getting, where you don't know what you're getting, like freaking Overwatch. I'm sorry, yeah, sure, great game, but I don't like the microtransactions in there. Loot boxes are fucking stupid.
I feel like Overwatch does it the best because you don't need to unlock anything.
I feel like it's like getting kids like addicted to gambling.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
That's a loot box system. A loot box system is like slightly different because you don't always need physical cash to do a loot box system. You can get in-game currency which you earn.
That's why Overwatch does it so well.
But that's a whole other thing, which is like, are you teaching children to gamble? But at the same time, these loot box system games, these games are like rated T. Wait, what is Overwatch rated? Is it T?
It's T.
Yeah, it's like
I think it's T. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, like, yeah, it's okay to expose some like teenagers to gambling. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But I mean, realistically, nobody pays attention to the ESRB ratings. Because I remember
they should.
I was like, yeah, I mean, they should, but like, I remember I was like 8 and I would be playing like GTA San Andreas, dude. And, like,
for sure.
Your parents were cooler than mine.
Mortal Kombat was your first game?
Yeah, that was my first video game I remember playing.
Solid memory.
The first game you've ever played or first rated M game you've ever played?
The first game I remember playing was MK2 on the Sega Genesis.
And his diapers ripping fucking throats out.
These adult themes in video games that like mimic real life. It's like we don't really know when they should be implemented into a person's childhood, but they should be in the developmental stages. You don't want a fucking adult going to a gambling casino and be like, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm spending $200 on fucking slot machines. And he's like, oh, no, I have one more dollar. I can make it. And then boom. gains all of them, then he gains all of his money back double. Then he reinvests it again, and then he loses $400 that he could have profited from. That's like,
All right.
gambling.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know.
my take on the micros. So
Yeah.
I don't like them one bit. I feel the need that with the cost of how much like AAA games are running you $60, if you have to pay anything else for the game, then it's not a full game, or they do it on purpose to get you more money. Like Destiny, for example, any Call of Duty, even like Injustice 2, like add-ons to games should be add-ons if the fans want it. Like,
You mean like, all right? Do you feel like DLC is an okay
DLC
practice?
DLC is okay. I still don't like them, but like add-ons like DLCs, those are fine. Like Skyrim or
okay now here.
Right.
But
Here's the thing,
microtransactions.
Wait, hold on, let me finish.
Microtransactions within games are scummy. It's just the only thing.
True.
They're only there for profit. Like, why do I have to be restricted to this content?
Right. Now,
Right.
It's
now
just
there are certain DLCs that are overpriced, and those are just like cosmetic DLCs. Like they'll release a so and so certain like pack, and it's like items that should only cost like, I would think if you're going to pay physical cash, they're going to cost like $2, but instead they cost 15 fucking bucks, and it's 3 items, in-game items, not even a storyline or anything.
No,
You're just like horrible, horrid.
I mean,
Horrifying.
I guess it's. I don't know. Like the way I viewed it. I mean, I agree. I agree with Seth when it comes to I feel like when everyone's paying, like games used to be what, like they used to be $50 when I was a kid. I'm 25, so like whatever. But like I remember when the 360 and the PlayStation 3 came out, that's when games started. They added the extra $10 on, so games are $60 now. But it's like I feel like with like $60 today, it's like I want as much content as I can get out of that $60. I don't want like half of like my content locked away by like a paywall, like how Destiny 2 did when, I mean, they did it a lot with Destiny 1 with, we're locking off of this kind of content for the people who paid for, the season pass or whatever. It's like,
right.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these companies aren't really understanding and how much like serious this is when it comes to that, because I don't like microtransactions, like
Right.
just in general, like it's a form of gambling in my mind, because okay, let's say if you get a loot box and let's actually take Hearthstone for example, because there's a lot of different different theories out there that like, well technically isn't like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or like Hearthstone like packs like technically gambling, and like I would have to say yes in a way, because you're not really getting, like, there's no real value for the digital items that you're receiving. I mean, yeah, you can turn cards into dust and things of that nature, but like we can't trade cards in Hearthstone, so it's not really much of a trading card game. Like even with like Yu-Gi-Oh and like those booster packs and stuff like that, I feel like that isn't gambling, because they have real world value that you can actually sell those cards for actual, for currency itself. But I don't know. It's just weird. Like I just want all of my I want all the content in the game for $60. Just in general.
It's really hard
fine.
to determine a
trail
price.
back to what you said about the Destiny 1 thing. The first 2 DLCs for that game were behind a paywall, but they were also on the original game. So they
right, exactly. They literally locked content.
The first, like the DLC release dates, which is basically them saying, "Okay, now you can play it if you paid for it." I don't like that shit. I don't like it either. I mean, with Destiny 2, it was like, okay, you already knew that we're getting 2 DLCs, and there's no way that they're not in the original game. Well, I don't know, but like the microtransactions is specifically like in the case of like Overwatch, Battlefront, fucking Injustice 2, where you can buy like the little mother boxes for the cosmetics. It's like I don't mind them too much. Like I said, I still hate them. I don't mind them too much if it's like, Overwatch, where it's like, okay, you can buy like 5 loot boxes. These are literally cosmetics that don't affect anything. In Injustice 2, it's like you can play the game with what the armor gives you when you buy them, but mostly everybody plays just the original game without the armor affecting anything, so it's not really that bad. Which is what I was afraid of when I first heard of them implementing that. But Battlefront 2, which is the hot topic of loot boxes and microtransactions when they came out, they hid the paywall. They had the leveling up system hidden behind the paywall. See, that's where they fucked up. I don't think Battlefront 2 is the only game that does this, but that's just the most recent instance of when it happened. So microtransactions in general, I don't like them. There are certain instances that are acceptable, but in general, I think we should just get rid of them entirely. DLCs are kind of different when there's like a lot of shit coming to it, and when you when you get
like there was a plan for the you go.
That awkward noise.
I will just finish real quick. DLCs are okay if you can get a full experience out of the game, and they feel like add-ons. When they don't feel like they were part of the game already, you just needed to pay for it. Example is Skyrim. That game, I didn't play Oblivion, but like Skyrim, I played a lot. I played the vanilla game without DLCs so many times. It's been almost like 400 hours. And I'm like, damn, this is so much shit in this game. And then I heard about the 2 DLCs. I'm like, wow, there's more shit? I didn't even need this, but okay. If the game does that, then that's fine, I guess. But now, just because of how much money people or companies know that it's being poured into these, they're going to keep on doing this shit no matter what. Well, maybe change recent Battlefront 2 thing, but like, I don't know. I just don't like them at all. That's my opinion on it.
But even then with Battlefront 2, they had to have the higher ups of Disney step in because they were concerned about what was happening at EA, because even Disney realized that it was like fucking the consumers.
Well, EA's been doing this for years.
Really,
that could have hurt the brand
for years.
Like, it's not like this was new from EA. It's just now that it had such a big name tied to it.
It's kind of like enough is enough from like the
because it was through Star Wars and
Disney was like, I don't know what you're doing, but stop that shit, okay?
Hey, stop that over there, boy.
That's exactly how EA was.
Which the funny thing is, like what they did with the new Star Wars movie is any theater that was showing it, they required the theater to show it in their biggest theater for a month.
Wow.
So like, and that was, it's either show the movie and do those terms or don't show it. Also, normally there's a like percentage that the company gets for ticket sales, and Disney, instead of 60%, which I'm pretty sure it is, said they'll get 65% of all ticket sales.
They ain't playing around.
They're not playing.
So it's like,
Disney's
it's funny how it works on both sides, that they're getting mad at EA over microtransactions when Disney is like, we're gonna screw you over with our movie.
I mean, it's not really screwing anyone over though. I guess the theaters, but this is the biggest time of the year anyways with Star Wars. So
This is I don't know it's just I'm more pro consumer than anything. It's just when it comes to microtransaction. Jeez, I cannot talk. Microtransactions. It's up to the consumers ourselves to honestly put a stop to it, because the loot box system in general, like I really noticed it, with Overwatch, and then like all these other companies, how successful Overwatch was doing, how successful EA was doing with all of this, and just things like that. And it's just like, we're the ones who have the power to change that. And it's like, I don't think any of us here have bought Battlefront 2.
No,
if you have,
sorry if you did.
Shame on you for hiding that from us. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
if it was 10, I would consider it.
I don't know. I guess for me, like, at least with the Overwatch, I don't see those as being a huge problem.
Oh yeah, no. Overwatch
It's the same thing with like Rainbow Six Siege. You can buy the season pass, But in the end, if you play the hours in the game, which most people do, they can get everything.
Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
you can get
So
things
like,
authentically.
it's kind of
in
like
a
an
timely
early
manner,
access,
right?
but it's not locked access.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like with Destiny 2 now, with like the Curse of Osiris or whatever, it's like this is literally Destiny 1 all over again. And it's like they
And that's what kind of cracks me up is that, like, I guess because it was only on console for Destiny 1, there wasn't such an uproar, but now that it's on, I mean, PC is just the more widely used platform. Like, people didn't play Destiny 1 for the most part from
Right.
PC. So they didn't know how that model is for DLCs. A year from now, the
It's so-
true major update will release.
Yeah, it's just I'm just like I wanted Destiny 2 to succeed in so many ways, but it's like they mess up, they apologize, and then they kind of sort of fix it. They mess up, they apologize, and then they kind of sort of fix the problem, like over and over and over. And I'm like, this is Bungie we're talking about. This isn't some new studio that's, you know, finding their place. And like, I mean,
Yeah.
with Destiny in general, it's just like, oh, like what kind of game is it? Because like when it first came out with Destiny 1, like I felt like it was trying to be too many things at once. And it's just like, when do we say, okay, like how many chances do we give this company, you know, with messing up on all this stuff? Like this is Bungie, like this is like the creators of Halo. Like I personally think like partnering with Activision wasn't their best bet. But I mean, like the Bungie that we know now is not the Bungie that was, you know, when Halo was a big thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just tired of it. Like I want them to actually learn a lesson and
It's
fix
because
it.
Activision is their publisher. Like Activision and Bungie are working together with Destiny, but like, I think Activision being their publisher, and Activision, we all know what they do with COD games. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna release this map pack, and then these guns. That's what they've been recently doing with like Black Ops 3. They've been adding new guns to multiplayer. I think if Bungie honestly did this game without Activision being there, it probably would have been better. It probably wouldn't have been on a grander scale because the publisher of games, they tend, I think, from what I've read or researched very loosely, I might add, the publishers do give money to the companies
Right.
to make games.
Yeah.
Destiny 1's budget for making that game was the highest amount of money spent on any game
Literally, Destiny 1 is the most expensive video game that's ever been
that's
created.
been made.
Yeah.
That probably was part Activision too. Activision has millions because of COD by itself.
Yeah.
Because people have been buying COD since like COD 4. That game has been series has been just booming.
Yeah,
Modern
like-
Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, MW3. They've gotten a shit ton of money through all their presses with like map packs, DLCs, all that bullshit. So they have the money to pump into Destiny 1, but of course they had some terms that Bungie had to work with, and that's probably why the game ended up being the way it was. People were really adamant about the game, and because it was Bungie, it was like, oh shit, it's their next new thing. I remember being stupid hype for the game when it came out and everything, and then I played it and I was like, bleh. But
Yeah.
people already spent their money with it. People already bought the season passes and shit, and then they did that shit with the Taken King where it was like, okay, you get all the map packs.
That was
People-
literally $40.
right. And people were pissed because they had to see. There were people who paid day one editions, and they came out with the map packs. So it was probably like $90, or people paid $60, then paid $30 for each, so they paid
Yeah.
$120, and then it was like that came out. So you probably spent another $40 to get the two and Taking King. So that was another $40 tacked onto that. So that was $160 that you paid for one game
Yeah.
with just the right amount of content that a game should have. So like, people still did it though. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna really change it. And it's just kind of like the way to really combat this would be to not pay for it. This is what's happening with Battlefront 2. That game's already on fucking sale. On Origin, that game is off 40%. That game literally just came out last month. A game shouldn't be on sale for 40%.
Oh yeah,
Especially
a lot
Star
of
Wars.
games are on sale. We've seen it from the Thanksgiving Day or the autumn sale from Steam in general. But,
Yeah, that's me, but this is Origin. Origin
that
really,
is true. Yeah,
this is EA we're talking about. These dudes eat up companies and spit them out and go on to the next one. They're all about the paper.
yeah,
The
that
fact
is
that they had
true.
to make Battlefront 2, which was, made by the dudes who did Battlefield, DICE, and I think Criterion or some other company or whatever kind of did like the flight simulations in that game.
Yeah,
They spent a lot of bread on this, and it looks beautiful and everything. They didn't waste any money. The fact that this title had a 40% discount, has a 40% discount. If I open up Origin right now,
yeah. Already, it's pretty
like-
crazy.
the fact that people are they were so mad about this and combating it, this shows that we can have an impact on these video games because we're the ones that buy them. So literally, what we have to do is not buy the shit. Easier said than done, but if we fight with our wallets, the companies can't really do anything. So they have to kind of
Go back to how it used to be.
Yeah,
You get a $60
Yeah.
game,
They have to make
and that's
changes
it.
that
You're
will
done.
us until we actually buy their shit.
take notes from CD Projekt Red, everybody.
Yeah.
They're not in it for the greed,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Which hopefully, you know what? No, look, like so, Bethesda started off, like a good company. Well, now recently they're becoming money whores. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just hope CD Projekt Red does not take the same road that Bethesda, because
Yeah.
Bethesda was at one point actually fairly recently very, very, very well respected, but now they've just become like money whores. They're not really releasing any. I'm sure they're not releasing anything, but I'm talking about Bethesda Studios specifically. So I'm talking about Todd Howard specifically. I don't know what the hell happened. It's
I
been
think-
7 years.
I think that I think it was the rise of the modding community. The
Yeah.
amount of mods and how people were paying attention to modding the games since Skyrim probably was what got them interested into doing shit with like the Creation Club and just other things where they kind of I think they're this is just my theory. I think they're intentionally making these games so barren to make the modders do shit. So that started with Fallout 4, and I think they realized that the modders will do a lot to change the game to make it better, and that's why they created the Creation Club. They kind of did like a little testing, or at least Steam did. I remember you guys remember this whole Steam thing where they're like, okay, we're gonna make like a market out of the mods for Skyrim, and people were pissed, and then they took it away like in less than a week. But Bethesda didn't take it away this time.
Yeah.
They're just starting to turn into like their own little EA, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot of these companies are crazy, but yeah, it's a very we can talk about this topic all day long, and oh my god, it gets me fired up just because like we're all pro consumer, and like Seth said, we got to fight with our wallets because they see what all these other companies are doing, and they're like, oh, this is working, so a lot of people are it's just crazy about how much money they actually make, but I definitely want to like hit this topic again in like another podcast. Maybe just have like a full length podcast about it or something. I don't know. But let's move on to let's go to the Game Awards really quick. Did anyone watch it besides me? Or
I ain't watched it. I mean, I know what got this stuff though.
yeah, Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year.
Which I kind of
Cuphead won a lot of different
Yeah.
awards.
I've had to win best. It won best soundtrack too. I think, right?
I believe
Was
so. Destiny 2 is actually the most nominated game, but it didn't win any awards.
But see that remember that was the thing from the first podcast when I was like, "There's a difference between quality and popular. Destiny's popular,
yeah.
and so therefore it's going to be nominated a lot, kind of like a celebrity. Like there are good celebrities, there are bad celebrities.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you could-
it was
like-
cool overall.
Yeah, like
So what are we talking about specifically? Like just our thoughts of who won and
Oh
what-
no, I mean I just wanted to just briefly touch over it, just in
Just throw out
general.
some of the winners.
just like a recap of what happened at the Game
Yeah,
Awards.
Nintendo won their first Game of the Year at the Game Awards, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, Breath of the
Go on
Wild.
it again.
Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year. I thought it was really sweet. They From Software teased a new game. It's literally like maybe a minute-long trailer, if that. I think it's either a new Bloodborne or they're bringing Bloodborne to the PC.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like literally some weird interwoven bow.
Yeah.
Was it? What did it look like? Because I didn't see it. I could tell you if it's Bloodborne or not.
I think it is Bloodborne, but I'll just show it to you later. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Overall, I thought it was pretty cool.
Dude, Bloodborne is creepier than Dark Souls. I didn't think I could find a game as creepier than Dark Souls, but it's Bloodborne, and of course it's the same studio. So I mean, like, you know, that game is super creepy because it's in Victorian. That's just the internet itself is just creepy, anyways.
Now,
Like,
the one thing I wanted to comment on from the winners, if I can find it, the best ongoing game,
Overwatch, baby.
was Overwatch. Now, I was surprised by this because I'm pretty sure I said it was going to be GTA 5.
Yeah, I think
would
you
think
did.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was because GTA 5 is like I said, they released the game during the previous generation of consoles, which was 360 and PS3, and still to this day, after they gave the new generation and PC their own port, they're still updating the shit like it just released like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Right.
like a new heist just came out.
It just came out, right? I didn't think Overwatch was gonna win just because, like, I mean, the popularity of the game is there and all, but like in terms of content, it's like, you know, you'll get some new maps, of course, like seasonal stuff occasionally.
A new
They take their
hero.
time with their characters. They really do.
Yes, they do. They really,
So
really
it's like,
do.
I didn't think they were going to win just for the amount of content, but I guess it's just the popularity aspect that kind of pushed it towards to be that category's winner, I guess.
Yeah, it was a great year for gaming all around in 2017, and
True.
I think 2018 is going to be even more fantastic. Which brings us to our next new little topic. So you know, the road to 2018. There are a lot. I'm looking forward to a lot of games, honestly. Like, I have like maybe 18 here. This Far Cry 5, Final Fantasy 15 is coming out for the PC. I'm really excited for that. I know no one here probably gives two shits about Final Fantasy 15, but
Sadly.
this Code Vein, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, or however you want to pronounce it, State of Decay 2. I'm praying for Halo 6, Metro Exodus, Ori and the Blind Forest, Will of the Wisp.
Oh my
Anthem,
god!
We
Yes.
Happy Few, Darksiders 3, which a new
Yeah.
a new gameplay trailer
I'm-
kind of came out for it. It's looking great. Vermintide 2.
I,
There's
Actually,
a lot.
Speaking of gameplay trailers, this is a little bit of a tangent, but what do y'all think of? So I saw an article. I forget what website it was on, but it was talking about the new Metro game and talking about the
yeah.
idea of a vertical slice.
They
And
showed that
taking
at,
gameplay that has been optimized and looks fantastic, but is not indicative of the actual game. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
in terms of showing that instead of just the actual gameplay.
So yeah, so basically they're showing a better looking view of what the game will actually be.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that.
They're
at all.
they're on that watchdog shit for that one.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs.
It kind of compares to like how you look at like, I mean, we all know how it is with fast food, but like whenever you see fast food commercials and you're like, God damn, that Big Mac looks fucking amazing, then you go buy this
Yeah.
shit, it's like, nah.
Right.
They shouldn't do that. Like,
Psych.
if they believe enough into their consumers that that they'll buy this shit, it's like, all right, show me what I'm getting. Like, I don't want to be pissed off when I buy the game. I just want to know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
just-
that is
If
true.
it doesn't
Like,
look good,
like
then
no
it's-
BS. Just tell me what's there, and so we know what to expect instead of
Yeah.
these false promises. Destiny, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like,
Or Battlefront 2. Honestly, I mean, they it was like a trade off. Like, oh, we'll give you all the content, but like, oh, there's a catch. There's microtransactions, and that's how it's pay to win, that kind of thing. But yeah,
I think,
I digress.
video games, like with those especially, because we're hands-on interacting with this media, with this entertainment. Don't show us shit that we're not gonna see when we get the game or do when we get the game. Just show us what we're gonna get.
Exactly.
Like, don't do that shit.
Don't show us like the potential or the possibility. Remember when Xbox
don't show
was
us
talking?
what you guys thought about doing and then ended up not doing in the game.
Exactly. Remember
Siege. That was if you guys look at the
Yeah,
YouTube trailer for Rainbow
actually-
Six Siege, it's like what happened to this?
Yeah.
it was like no need. But no, it's kind of like I don't know. Like remember when Xbox was talking about the power of the cloud and how it was just like, oh well, the cloud's gonna do this and your games are gonna be able to do all this stuff. It's like they're like okay, like the Xbox One X. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's a powerful console, yes, but in my opinion, it's nothing really to drool over. And I know when right before it came out, you know, a bunch of us watched E3 together, and I remember me and Devin were contemplating, like, well, maybe we should get it. We don't know, but like, we didn't really know anything about the console, how much it was going to cost, and then it ended up being $500, and we're like,
Nah.
But it's,
Nah,
I mean,
me.
just show me what it does, like, just.
Right. Don't like say all this shit. Like I want to see what.
And then have half of your games or a game running at sub 30 FPS. I'm looking at you, PUBG, for
and
the
never have any
Xbox.
cancels.
I
Yeah,
actually
exactly. Like we're gonna use the power of the
saw-
cloud and Microsoft magic.
I saw a side to side comparison of Gears 4 running off the Xbox One and the original Xbox. The only difference between them was the fact that the Xbox One X version had more of a
But it's in 4K, Seth. Don't you like 4K?
Well, you can't.
it had more of a blue tint to the game than the original version for some reason.
But 4K, Seth, you don't understand. I want
Yeah, I
my
like
4K
4K
30
at 5
FPS.
frames per second.
I
like
love
it.
my 4K at 30 sub FPS.
But to kind of go back to the previous topic about like the 2018 games,
yeah, let's go back.
I'm
to
not
that,
really
sorry.
excited for most of these. You know, I'm only really excited for 3. Dragon Ball Z Fighters, of course. I love that shit. This
Oh,
guy
yes.
is the studio behind Guilty Gear is making this game, and I love that game series. I just can't play it because I'm shit.
The one game you always want to be good at, but you're just complete boo-boo at.
Crackdown 3. I love Crackdown 2.
It's don't get canceled.
Shut up. And
That shit's
I-
gonna get canceled. Calling it right now.
Don't do it. Don't do
That's
that.
just getting
shit.
canceled.
They
I
technically
think-
don't have any exclusives.
There hasn't been a
because-
trailer
They
yet.
kill
Like,
their own
at all.
exclusives for no reason, and like it pisses me off. But I just want Crackdown. I want to destroy shit. I want to not think about anything and just
Yeah.
jump off of buildings and just shoot.
That is
people.
true. It would be
Yeah.
great to do that.
And Anthem, of course. That game looks like that can replace Destiny.
It needs to replace
If-
Destiny because Destiny
if-
doesn't
if
even
it-
have any
if it-
competition.
If it performs and gives us something that actually is better than Destiny and is not
It-
doing the same shit like you just said, Matt, with the whole like showing us what it could do, but it's not gonna be
Yeah.
what it
It
is.
may replace Mass Effect and Destiny at the same time.
Okay, well, Mass Effect's pretty much right now.
Yeah, Mass Effect's
EA
out.
ran that into the ground.
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
telling you because it's BioWare. Anthem is BioWare.
Yeah,
Same
that's
studio.
Oh,
Mass
you're right. You're
Effect,
right.
Make sure
I
I
almost
can.
forgot
because they
about
were
that.
focusing on
So-
Anthem.
Yeah.
That is
But yeah,
true.
that,
I don't know. There's,
that's pretty much it for me. Like 2018 doesn't really look like. I mean, so far. I mean, of course, we're gonna get more releases of games throughout 2018, but for right now, I'm not
and
really
Mega
that
Man
There's-
11, by the
there's-
way. Just want to
there's-
throw that out there.
late.
There's one game in particular that I'm really, really hyped for in 2018. I don't really know if I should be hyped, but it's like a new game. It's called Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's like it's a new, it's no game like in like the action like.
Wait,
the
your
actual
mic is
world
like going
century.
in and out.
Okay. Did you hear what I said about Kingdom Come
I heard
Deliverance?
I heard Kingdom and then I heard Come.
I heard you like
and-
coming or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's it's called Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's an open world RPG that takes place in the 13th century world and shit. And I'm just really excited for it. It's kind of like Skyrim, except like the actual like real world.
Ooh,
It's kind of like the,
That's interesting.
yeah, is like the mechanics. Yeah, and it uses the cry engine, so that's probably means the loading screens are going to be really long, but it'll be worth it.
It looks pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it called one more time?
Kingdom
Come Deliverance.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's like, yeah, and then there's like, it just looks like really cool. I forget where it takes place, but like, dude, you see the woods in this? That's how woods actually look. I've never seen woods done correctly in video games unless it was The Witcher. But like, it's just.
Okay, yeah,
like I
just looked
Yeah,
it up.
I can see that a little
That
bit.
dude has an arrow in his head, and he's still going.
I bust a fat one when I see videos.
I personally can't wait.
I mean, it can't be that big.
Wait, what'd you say, Devin?
It
I
looks like
personally-
it looks. Oh, I'm sorry.
I personally can't wait for the next PUBG clone to come out next year. It's going to be a grand time.
So what? I'm trying to figure out what developers is gonna join the bandwagon.
Oh,
Maybe
for
it will
PUBG?
be Destiny. I don't know. Or Bungie.
Call of Duty or Activision just abandoned Call of Duty and just like, oh, we're gonna do this.
You know
now.
what? I think Call of Duty would do it, but there's also rumors of Bad Company 3 coming out.
Oh, Bad Company 3.
Yes,
Oh my god,
coming out
if they
next
do
year.
that.
Because the guy who like predicted Battlefield 1, coming out, and pretty much everything he said was I forgot his name, but everything he said was up to snuff, and it's the same guy like making this claim, and I'm like,
He could be right.
He could be right, which is very, very exciting. But
When
Mega
is-
Man 11 as well. And that Mega
When
Man.
is Cyberpunk 2077 coming out?
I
Come on,
don't
CD
know,
Projekt
but
Red.
that game better come out
Come on, boys.
soon because
Yeah, I want that game immediately.
like I want it.
I don't know
No.
though, because The Witcher 3 was only they just finished their last expansion for The Witcher 3, which was only been a year. And after the last expansion, they started Cyberpunk 2077. So I don't know how long.
That might be a 2019 title.
Probably.
Yeah, it
I
could be
wouldn't mind.
2019, even 20. I wouldn't
Take your
put it
time.
past them.
Take your
Yeah.
time.
CD Projekt Red, they literally were like people were like tweeting them, like, so when is this game coming out? They're like, it's coming out when it's ready.
Hey,
Like that's literally
only
what their
answer.
tweet
That's
said.
the only
It's
answer.
like it comes out when it's actually ready. We don't know when, but when it's ready, it'll be out. We're like,
And you will jizz.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of, all these amazing games coming out in 2018, does anyone have like any guilty pleasure games that, the game that everybody hates but you like secretly love, like
Mine's pretty notorious here.
oh, is it?
Watch Dogs.
Watch
Listen.
Dogs, baby.
yeah.
That game is butt.
Especially the first one. No one liked the first
Oh.
one.
Dude,
Oh, absolutely not.
You know what's weird? I hated the second one, but I liked the first.
What?
I liked it.
Wow.
I liked the first Watch Dogs.
I
Because the second
Aiden
one,
Pierce.
the narrative development just doesn't make any fucking sense. He has no reason to kill people. There's
But he
nothing. It's just fucking stupid. Aiden Pierce is killing child molesters and shit. That shit makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Like,
Yeah.
justice. No, yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you
when
mean.
that- When that game first came out, it got shat on, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well,
whole
the
time.
PC port got shat on a lot.
Well, that's
But
every
PC ports in
triple
general
A.
console games just haven't been good. I don't know why.
it's just, I mean,
well, it's
console-
also just third person Ubisoft games on computers are usually bad. Just I don't know why. That's just
I
how
mean,
Ubisoft is.
I
It's-
feel like a lot of these developers should
It's because
develop the game
Ubisoft-
on PC
Ubisoft
and then port
gears
it over
their
to the Xbox.
keyboards being played with a controller, and so that's like a big problem.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I have a few guilty pleasure games. I mean, Heroes of the Storm is one. I know everyone. It's not the MOBA,
Well,
the ideal
you
MOBA
play
that
a
everybody
fucking
plays.
Kingdom Hearts. You play a King.
Well, yeah, I play Kingdom
Bullshit.
Hearts. It's a great freaking. The story's amazing. It's
Kingdom
awesome.
Hearts is amazing.
Fable
Yeah.
3
Wait.
is another one, And Destiny 1.
Fable 3 is not as good as Fable 2.
I
it's
know,
still
but like
up.
I loved Fable 3. And even the new Devil May Cry with like the new Dante with the black hair.
What was the one story with Dakota and Omar? Somebody gave somebody an STD.
What?
and then
What?
they-
Oh,
What?
in Fable
and then they-
3.
yeah, then they
Oh,
gave
yeah, that was
somebody
me.
else.
They gave to their
That was me.
agents.
Context is
And like I divorced Dakota. We had a child. His name was Naruto. And I divorced him and I somehow got all of his money. I don't know how.
Were
He
you the
was
woman?
literally I sucked him dry.
Even figuratively.
Yeah. Getting married in Fable 3 is a grand old time.
I don't know if I even have any guilty pleasure games. I'm still kind of.
ODST?
Good game. You know,
It was a good game,
that
I'm
may
not
be me.
gonna lie.
I like that game.
It was a pretty good
Wait,
game.
what? ODST, a good game?
I can't get on that. I can't get on that bandwagon. Nope.
Yeah, you can
I don't
just
know
say
about
that.
that one.
They introduced Firefight for just that game.
Firefight's
Firefight was
better.
okay.
Firefight was good.
And then, like, of course, the multiplayer on there was just Halo 3 with more maps. So I was like, how can you go wrong with that?
You
Yeah.
fucking armor lock whore.
That's Reach. Totally
Wrong
different
game,
game.
wrong game, but still the fact remains.
Yeah.
You did get the Halo Reach beta through ODST. So I mean, I guess you know.
So wait, Jared, is your guilty pleasure game like Assassin's
already
Creed
know. You already
Revelations
know what
or
the
like
fuck
Assassin's
that
Creed
shit
3?
is.
Assassin's
You already
Creed.
know what's going on, boy.
Dude, it's
You
like,
already know.
isn't that China Chronicles,
No,
whatever that
if you
The
really-
China
phone one
Chronicles.
is?
If you really need to know, like the worst I like not like, but I still play it and have played through is Assassin's Creed Rogue. The poopy one where you're not even a fucking assassin. You're this fucking
Like in France?
Irish. You're this Irish twit, and they advertise it. He's supposed to have a hood on. In the game, his Templar robes don't have a hood, and that pissed me the fuck
Oh,
off.
no.
That's like an Injustice 2 where they have his fucking with Hellboy and his fucking Doomfist, and he switches hands. That's
Oh,
not
he
part of the
switches
lore.
around.
That makes no sense. That's like
not part of the lore.
that's like me.
Not canon.
It's
that's like me-
not.
No, dude, no, listen. That's like me cutting off my left arm and then switching it to my right arm every time I flip stances.
It's all the
What
rage in
a
Paris.
stupid
Don't you
that
know
is.
that?
Hold on, honestly,
Dude,
that's what it is.
It's all the rage
It's
in
like-
Paris.
his fist is supposed to have specific abilities, and that's why it's supposed to be. It's literally not a glove. It is his hand. That's why I'm like so fucking pissed. Ugh.
I think it's just
Sorry, I
like,
nerd out.
mechanics of the game.
Like-
Not really think about it, but still, it's
Yeah.
kind of.
So I know
Whatever.
Randy's got a pretty big guilty pleasure, a little RuneScape. Is that
Oh,
It's
RuneScape.
Still up on the
Shut up.
Scuppy runes, boys.
Oh,
Look at me.
God.
It's not even like I don't like RuneScape. It's fine, but you play like the really old ass shitty.
He plays like
old
he plays like one of the
RuneScape
old
Classic.
versions of
It
RuneScape.
says
right?
RuneScape Classic on
polygons
it.
in the whole entire
Yeah.
game.
Right.
Fucking the animations can be done.
I'm
by a
reliving my
fifth grader.
childhood, okay? Let me have this,
Hey,
bro.
no, man,
No.
You be playing that old ass RuneScape shit where you gotta cook your own bread. Like no
Yeah,
one wants
bro.
to do that.
you know what?
You-
Minecraft.
You guys
style.
and your fucking
Another.
RuneScape memes. I don't even.
Oh
get
yeah,
those shit.
they're so good.
they're
Oh,
not.
the
No, they're
best
not.
memes on the web, bro. Come
But
on.
wait, Randy, do you have like another guilty pleasure game, or is that like
Hell
your-
yeah, freaking Diablo 3, bro.
That game is so good though. Like,
It's good.
Mm,
It's good.
I mean,
Randall, that's
yeah.
a good game. That's not.
I don't know.
well, I mean, like to him,
Fans
it's
don't seem to
whatever.
like it.
Hey, listen, man. That game has one of the best stories. I
The
would
lore
know.
is so
The
good.
lore
lore
is really good.
It's so
I
good.
would know. I have literally heard all of the lore. And I have the achievement.
He has the
for it.
achievement for real though.
What a horror.
I was like, I've never seen this achievement before. I read it. It says, like, literally have a
It
conversation
says,
with
it says
everyone. in the
listen
game.
to
That's fucking
all.
sad.
It says
Listen to-
listen to
he's-
all
he just needs that
dialogue
conversation
and
in
text
his life.
in the
Jared,
game,
how many hours
and
did that
that's
take
what
you?
I did.
Too
Boy, I don't
many
even
hours.
fucking know, but that shit was lit. That
How did-
story.
How do
was
you find
amazing.
every person, every secret
Did
interaction?
you become friends with them or
Like-
something? Like,
I
know,
NPCs,
dude.
you're like, oh, hey, Jared, what's up?
I can't believe
how's
you
it going?"
actually did that. Like,
It's because look, I love myself story games, but it's also because When did we play Diablo 3? What year was I actively playing that? Was it 2012, 2013?
Something like
I'd say
that.
It was
12, maybe.
Well, not when it came out, but like we played it a lot.
I played it like I think it was like 2012.
There
So
were still
before
like the auction house was still there.
Yeah. But like before that, like I was playing. There were specific. Oh, it's because Skyrim taught me good. You need to talk to every NPC. You have a fucking marker or anything. You just talk to them shits. You don't know.
Honestly, there's some funny stuff you could do, and like, and
then I also learned from Skyrim, which gave me some good lessons, is that some NPCs, if you see them and you move past them and you come back later, they could be gone. So that's what I did in Diablo 3. I was just like, all right, the moment I see an NPC, I'm approaching them and I'm going to try a pickup line. The pickup line isn't a pickup line. It's to get as much info as you possibly can about demons and Satan and shit like that. So it was really lit. Wait, what are you doing here?
You can just read the book.
Yeah. I see it. We're getting done soon. So
he said you could just read the book.
If you really want dialogue that much, just
or you could just read a book.
But hey,
you could read a book.
They they do have some Diablo comics and
there you go.
Yeah.
I think.
Or you could go to your
super exclusive.
You could go to your local what?
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
I
Barnes and Noble.
About the
Satanic Bible.
We're sponsored by Audible. You guys hit that up.
Hey, Audible's good. Don't be knocking Audible.
Don't, we're not actually
I'm just
sponsored.
kidding. Yeah,
We
we're not.
can be if you're listening Audible. We can be.
We can't.
Listen, DC Comics. I will ride your dick so hard if you sponsor us, please.
Jared, get out of here.
Marvel only, please. No,
What do you mean?
We're not gonna go that far.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Guys, I think
Well,
I don't know if anyone's ever played this game before, but I know that a lot of people don't like this game in general with its community. Excuse me, I just sat down. Sonic
Minecraft?
Riders. No,
oh,
Sonic
dude,
Riders.
I love that. Okay, that's another
Son of a
one.
bitch.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
actually played that game all the time. Me and my brother used to play that game constantly. We got every single fucking board, all the characters, all the little collectible shits you get after beating the campaigns. I remember spending so many hours on that bitch. And then, like, not too long ago, I was watching, like, this video of, like, oh, Sonic games have just been bullshit, which they have been. But apparently people didn't like Sonic Riders at all either. And I was like, what? This game was fucking amazing.
It was so good. I agree with you 100%.
You guys remember Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
Yeah, that was a good game, and I have it too.
Oh. Okay, like right here, I need some closure. Okay, was it possible to mutate a Chow in the Chow Garden to be this big ass buff thing?
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Because that was a.
I was into the Chows for a bit, but
that was a rumor where if you like fully upgraded one Chow and like kept feeding it specific things, like you could feed it a Chaos Emerald at one point, and it would turn into like a Super Chow. And I'm like,
Hey,
what
Jared.
the fuck is that supposed to look like?
You know
What?
that's what YouTube is for, right?
Boy,
That's what the internet's
listen,
for.
when this shit was out, YouTube wasn't a thing. I was on my
Alright, but now it
GameCube,
is.
my guy. Yeah, YouTube, bitch ass problem solver.
Okay. Oh my gosh. jeez.
Matt, what's your guilty pleasure here, sir? What's a game that you like that if you say it amongst us, we'll be
Nothing
like,
here.
no, you're dumb.
You can't pick
Yeah.
one. I think I have one for everyone here.
What?
I'm trying to think.
Okay, see, that was a guilty pleasure.
What
for
did he
Dakota,
say? I
and
didn't
then
hear
we all
him.
got into
No, I
it.
said I'm trying to think.
No.
Like,
What?
while Matt thinks on the topic of Peggle, I remember when Dakota first played this shit, and I'm like,
We thought it looked so dumb. I was like,
it
what
looks
the fuck
so
is a Peggle?
stupid. And then, like, after, like, 2 or 3 weeks, I started playing. I went over to Dakota's house. We started playing it. I'm like, this shit's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
And
It is. It actually is on my
For
guilty
those of you who don't know, Peggle's a fire game. I implore you to try it.
Peggle's one of
Right.
is perhaps
Oh, you know what
the
game?
greatest
I
game
got the
ever
game.
created.
Solid game.
All right, Matt, what's your guilty pleasure? Come over
Learn
here.
to Fly 3.
What?
Bro, what?
Actually, mine was No Man's Sky.
Don't tell me you're playing a fucking flight simulator game, Matt.
Yeah, it's about a penguin trying to go to the moon.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
really
pretty
good.
lit.
I've loved
I love the
every
lore
single-
behind it.
I've loved every single Learn to Fly game.
It's
My
a
guilty
free
pleasure
game on
is-
Steam.
Is it?
My guilty pleasure is Bloons, guys.
Mine's
Oh,
actually
you know,
not-
that's a good game though.
On the phone, back when I used the phone game, that was
It was interesting.
I-
Clash of Clans. Oh god, I can't talk.
That
Boy.
doesn't even count. That's mobile gaming.
I like the
We don't-
pinball game.
Mobile
Dude,
gaming
internet-
sucks.
Mobile gaming is the future, bro.
Mobile gaming is just oversaturated with the same game. Like
Yeah.
40 times
The,
over.
the Legend 27. I don't know, man.
I guess. So I wanted to. We're hitting about the hour mark here in a little bit, and due to our last podcast,
We've
it was
hit
like
an hour.
2
We
hours.
started at like 11:30. We're gonna.
It's 11.
We got
Oh, I was gonna say
five
it's 10:25 where I am, but yeah, I forgot you're East Coast now, and I'm
We got
Central.
Bad.
So I wanted to open up to see, especially Devin. I know he's always been the guru when it comes to deals across the internet
Oh, boy.
in
Oh,
general.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you had anything for this week's podcast
There's some
episode.
fire going on
Bro.
right now.
Boy
A little bit of heat
deals.
going on right now.
Some fire, some heat out here.
All right, bring that.
You need
Drop
some,
that
Bring it to
some
the
Broke
table.
Broke
Ashy
Boy
hands
deals.
rubbing together.
Oh, all
Mhm.
day.
They ashy because we can't afford lotion, everybody.
Ashy Larry.
Actually, there, Morty projects.
Gotta stay crispy.
Stay crispy, SpongeBob.
What are the Dev dog? What are the deals, man?
So of course, in honor of Star Wars, the
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi being
Such a good movie.
released this weekend, there are a lot of Star Wars deals going on.
Yeah, that is true. I
Yep.
forgot.
Humans actually picked up Battlefront 2 for about $3 on Steam. We tried that for a little bit this week.
Wait, the original Battlefront?
Yes,
they
yes,
did.
the original.
Okay.
No,
you
the
had
new
me
Battlefront
tweak- you had me
2.
tweaking at
It's
first.
on a super
I was like-
sale.
I was like, yo, oh my god, did Disney just like completely destroy EA? And now
Oh
they're
no,
like,
no.
They needed to.
and now they're like,
Yeah. Battlefront 2, that's like three. Yeah, that's about like $3 right now. I love that game. Nostalgia overload. I'm sorry, I still love
Yeah.
that game.
That was a good time. There are still servers, so we did play. It was
I think
interesting.
we just
So
need to
little.
get more of the homies to play it, and then it'll get more fun.
Yeah.
oh, also, on Ubisoft, I know you guys aren't gonna fucking care. This is, in my opinion, this is the worst Assassin's Creed game.
Oh,
Not
Black
be-
Flag.
Black Flag
Yeah,
is free.
Oh yeah, it
Play
is.
for
It
this
is.
month.
I actually forgot about that. I picked that up a few days
It's a,
ago.
Yeah,
it's
Ubisoft
a,
is
it's,
like
it's a great open world game. It's a good pirate simulator. Not a good Assassin's Creed game, but it's a good pirate game. I'll give it that. It is
Yeah.
the next pirate game.
Sea shanties.
So
But yeah,
another pretty
Dude,
big
I
deal
collected
on
every
sale.
single sea
Dude,
shanty.
we gotta
This-
let them
what?
do his-
All right, you need like a 10-minute limit of talking about Assassin's Creed per podcast. You need to set that precedent right now.
All right, Devin, continue with your deals.
Another big one, LA Noire. It's on sale. You can get the complete edition for $9 right now.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
That is
Immediately.
That is quite the deal. I think I'm gonna
I
set up
need
myself.
You know, actually,
Yeah,
I
I-
buy the Lego Star Wars complete
When I-
saga. It's
When
like
I
on
first
sale as
played,
well.
when I first played Eleanor, I was too little to understand that I could actually explore the map. So I just kind of like played the whole game at
Me
once,
too.
and it was
I
kind of
did. I did that as well. Devin, is there anything else that you want to shed light on, or?
Yeah, Jared said Black Flag's free. Homefront, I feel like it's been free for a little while now.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, it's free,
Yeah.
It has a deal going on.
I know Fanatic.com has started their winter sale. I believe Steam's winter sale starts on the 22nd of this month. And I think GOG is having their sale right now as well.
Is Origins as well? Hold on.
I
I
think
have it.
s-
I
I
have it
Origin-
open.
As
I
a
have it
matter of
open
fact,
right now. I can look at it.
It's doing it's doing like 50% off on other games, and they're, of course, they're doing the 40% off on Battlefront 2, like I said before.
I should have looked up some hardware deals for PCs, but
You can get The Sims 4 $5. It's normally 10.
The game is really bad.
But yeah, Devin,
No,
were
that's a
there
great
any other
fucking deal.
deals that you came across?
There's a game called Ultimate Chicken Horse that I'm just hearing of now.
It looks fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Ultimate Chicken Horse.
On sale for $9. Whatever that is, whoever that may interest.
Basically, from what I've read about the the little description of the video I watch, it's like a game where you build platforms for your opponents, and they have to try to go through it without getting killed. But you also have to remember what you built so that you won't get killed. It looks pretty fun. It looks like one of those games where you just play like, I don't want to play like some Siege or Overwatch. Just play this dumb shit, and it looks like fun.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another podcast come and gone. Just wanted to thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you and your gorgeous, sexy faces next year.
I need $1.